In this video, we're going to be looking at the dock. To access the dock, we go down to Settings, and then you'll see Dock appears, Desktop and Dock on the left-hand panel. This opens up a window which has the amount of magnification. I have some here, and I then ignored the other bit because it's already covered by something else I've done. But this can be altered as you wish. Then we go down to the position of the dock on the screen in a second. Well, you can see that I changed the size of the dock just to show how it was. And then the position on the screen. So at the moment it's at the bottom, which is a normal place. So we can move it to the left, and you will note whether it comes away that the icons are on the left hand side, but very small, and I'd say useless if you have as many as I do. So we'll shift it to the right for completeness, and there it is. It basically means if you've got very few icons in the dock, you can move it around and it can be more useful. So we'll now stick that back down at the bottom and go on to the next thing. Which is the Windows effects. I've kept it on the default Genie. I can't see a great difference, to be honest with you. Then double click a Windows title bar in order to zoom. Minimize Windows into application icon, which I would normally have on, but for some reason I've turned it off. So we'll go down. Anyway, you can see that in the dock we have an app that I use for recording screens. So that sits down there, and away we go. So then automatically hide and show the dock. This is useful, I guess, if you want all your screen real estate to appear. It's okay if you remember what you've done. Show indicators for open files. And show recent and suggested and recent apps in the dock, which I do. I do keep that on because it is quite useful. Then we'll go on to the next section. Now, Stage Manager is something that I find particularly useless because it fills the screen with open apps. I prefer to use other methods by splitting the screen, using at the most 2 apps and copying if necessary between one and the other. But do have a look at it and see what you think. So this option will put your recent apps into Stage Manager. How useful that is well, debatable, because they already can be put down in the dock, so you haven't lost them. Now we'll drag down to the next thing, which is showing widgets. Widgets are kind of useful, but I've taken it out of Stage Manager. It is still on the desktop. It's things like the weather and that kind of thing. and show iPhone widgets will Y, but you can if you've got an iPhone and you want to. This is where you show your selected browser. Now we've got Google Chrome, please don't. Google Chrome, again, also please don't. Microsoft Edge, which is better than Chrome. Opera, which please don't. Orion, I haven't tested properly. And Brave, of course. So then dragging down again, we have a look at Windows, by which it means the window that the app appears in, not Microsoft Windows. Sorry to swear. So I keep that in full screen and ask to keep changes in closing documents. Definitely that should be on. And choose Windows when quitting an application. Close Windows when quitting an application. Yes, that makes perfect sense. So now we are down in the area of the dreaded mission control. This is particularly useless to me. Again, it is something others use quite effectively. I just never have. I prefer to have a small number of apps and windows open, at the most 2 really. Otherwise it gets a little bit confusing. So next we are going on to other areas. Ah, that's better. So now we're going to go on to something slightly different, which will be the screen layout. So we're just going to get out of desktop and dock and go on to displays. What you can see here is the screen mode initially, and we have, this is set for 1800 by 900 or 2:1, but there are others. We'll have a very quick look at those. So this one is 19 by 20, 1280. They all make what is in the window on the screen larger or smaller. My view is that I like the one that I've set it for. There are lots of other settings you can change in here. Color palettes. Again, I just stick to the one that is sets up for automatically. Refresh rate would be the same, and also rotation I wouldn't touch with a barge pole, not being totally sure what it's going to do. So I've changed the colour palette and it doesn't seem to have made any difference to me at all. But there will be greater differences showing up. The refresh rate on the screen is 75 on this monitor. He's picked that up and he just leaves it at that. As I say, rotation I will not touch. We'll look at a couple of other things. First of all, advanced. So allow your pointer and keyboard to move between any nearby Mac or iPad. Well, I've got an iPad. I haven't put this to the test yet. Push through the edge of a display to connect to a nearby Mac or iPad. That makes it look as though you've got two screens attached to the one computer. It could, I think, be quite handy. And automatically reconnect to any nearby Mac or iPad. So those could be very useful. Having said that, I haven't tried them yet. And lastly, we come on to night shift, which lets us do various things. This allows us to set up a time between which the screen softens, if you like, so it isn't so hard on the eyes at night. It's some sort of blue light control and things like that, which I'm sure you know more about than I do, actually. But again, you can go into it, you can alter it. Just always, when you alter things, make notes of what you've done so you can go back to what it was. So all this is going to change with the new version of Mac OS that's coming out. I'm running a beta version on the little Mac, and you'll see more of that in the future. So thank you.